for the beginning section. Do we have our sergeant at arms or our Toastmaster, our greeter?
Am I supposed to officially swear us in then? All right, acting as Sergeant at Arms at 9:30 a.m. I call this contest to order and turn it over to our contest. Actually, first I'll turn it over to our area director, Jennifer Barbara Frazier. Jennifer, take it away. Everyone clap.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Area 24 Speech Contest, Humorous and International. Thank you for joining us today. Our Toastmaster for today's contest is Carrie Foster. Please help me welcome Carrie Foster.
Good morning, everyone. Just as a moment, as a housekeeping, we're going to remind you all to keep your microphones on mute and your video off during the contest. By doing this, there will be no distractions and it helps to maintain the internet connectivity. If you do get disconnected and sign back in, you'll be placed in the waiting room and will be let back in at the appropriate time by the Zoom host. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and especially to our honored guests and speakers this morning. The holiday season is officially upon us. Did you know that as of this morning, we only have 20 days left until Christmas? How many of you are finished with your Christmas shopping? Anyone? For all of you who did raise your hands, you're all overachievers. You suck. Just kidding. But for all of you who have not finished your Christmas shopping, according to Good Housekeeping, did you know that some of the most popular gifts are lamps in the shape of the moon, or slippers that you put in the microwave? And there's even a template that you could create your own comic book. And now that you have my Christmas wish list, I will be checking the mail and expecting gifts from all of the rest of you today. The chief judge has informed me that the contestants, judges, timers, and ballot counters have been briefed prior to the beginning of the contest. I would like to remind all audience members to please turn off your video now and make sure that you are muted. We will now start the Area 24 Humorous Speech Contest. Let the contest begin. Humorous speech contestant, please indicate that you are present when I call your name. Jenny Edwards.
Present.
Thank you, Jenny. The speaking order for the Area 24 Speech Contest will be contestant number 1, Jenny Edwards. There will be 1 minute of silence before and after the contestant today. Timer, when I advise you to do so, please signal me with the green screen when 1 minute is up. Okay. After the contestant has spoken, the judges will be given all the time that they need to complete their ballots. Timer, can we please allow for 1 minute of silence now?
Sorry, Jenny, you have to go and unmute.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and honored guests. Yesterday, I got peed on. Now, for any of you that might be dealing with some challenging situations in your life, that might give you a new perspective, one that's a little less soggy. Well, how many of you, by show of hands, want to be more resilient in your life?
Jenny, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we weren't ready to start yet. I'm gonna have to, we were still in the 1 minute of silence. So let's try that again.
I thought when he was talking that.
Okay, I'm gonna introduce you right now.
Thank you.
Jenny Edwards, Resilience in Tumultuous Times. Resilience in Tumultuous Times, Jenny Edwards.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and honored guest. Yesterday, I got peed on. Now, if any of you are encountering any obstacles in your life or chaos, that might offer a new perspective, one that's a little less soggy. How many of you, by show of hands, want to be more resilient in your life? Thank you. Resilience means bringing back to its original form after being stretched. Tumultuous, by definition, is a disturbance or uproar of emotions, like a pandemic, an election year, or living with a 5-year-old. I am the mother of 2. My name is Jenny. 2 little girls, little only by stature, not by personality. Let me introduce Genevieve, who just turned 5 and is Little Miss Social. Hi, Mr. Postman. Do you want to know my favorite colors? Pink and purple. What are yours? Then there's Ariel, almost 1. She likes to chew on everything. And let me tell you, as a parent, I have noticed some striking parallels in our society and some good old-fashioned child rearing, because Americans do not like being told what to do. And I believe this really begins in childhood. Case in point, the potty dance. Honey, do you have to go potty? No, Mommy. No, I just like dancing. Go potty. Or nap time. Honey, you look tired. Do you need to take a nap? No, Mommy, I'm not tired. And then 5 minutes later, wailing on the floor, I'm not tired. Go take a nap. And then the calamity kept escalating week after week, day after day, distance learning. It's enough to turn me into day drinker. So the next time I go on an outing, I'm packing a bottle for Mommy. Nobody knows what's in that clear liquid. Stoli, anyone? Then one day, my husband, seeing me a little stressed out, getting ready for work, he says, "Goodbye, honey. Give me a kiss, give me a hug. It's going to be a good day. You can do this." He leaned in. "You and me, you want to have some mommy daddy time later?" Yeah. But who am I kidding? I just want to take a nap. Then a voice whispering from the universe. You can do this. Find joy in every moment. Get grounded. Find joy, find joy, find joy. So I began doing some breath work. In between sips of coffee, of course. 1, 2, 3, but I began feeling like a super mom. Now, if any of you have seen the movie The Incredibles, you know the magnificent mom, Elastigirl, who can hold the baby in one hand and defeat the evil villains with the other hand. That could be me. Yes, all I have to do is my breath work, my grounding, and be resilient. How many of you want to use tools like this to increase your resilience? Yes, say yes. Woo! All right, so there I was in my stretchy situation, photographing a corporate event for Kaiser Permanente. It was a two-part event. The first part, photographing the employees at the location. The second part, capturing the slideshow for the grand finale. So in between there, my husband had to go to work. So he dropped off the baby at the hotel. There I was holding the baby in one hand, editing photos with the other hand. And then, what's that smell? Oh no, he forgot to pack the diaper bag. Oh, so all day long when people would lean in, oh, what a cute baby. Well, don't get too close and catch a whiff. Oh. But I can handle it. I am resilient. And I just want to remind you that you too can tap into your inner joy, finding joy in every moment, remembering that you were once a child and have more playtime. So I challenge you to find ways that you can tap into that joy. Maybe blow some bubbles, play some hopscotch. Remember that game? Even jump on a trampoline. Oh, you got to wear the right bra for that one. Just a reminder to float more, steer less. Your life is not a mess. It's only a play day away. Be resilient in these tumultuous times. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jenny. Everyone will remain on mute while the judges have all the time they need to complete their ballots, and the ballots have been received by the Chief Judge.
The ballots have been collected. Please put us in our break room, Zoom master.
Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. If everyone can turn on their video, we'll be using the silent applause method today. Let's all practice that together. Let's see some silent applause. All right. Good moves, guys. You look great.
This
That
is
was good to
Pat.
know.
This is Pat. I need someone to let me in to, it says I cannot start my video because the host has stopped it. So can you do something about that?
I will defer that to our Zoom master to help you with that, Pat.
Okay, Matt,
They should be good now.
but it isn't. Okay, start my video. Okay, got it. Thank you.
All set.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a moment to get to know our contestant this morning. Jenny, will you please unmute?
Um,
All right.
Hello.
How long have you been in Toastmasters, Jenny?
I've been in Toastmasters since April.
Oh, wow, you're a pretty new member. So you've known Toastmasters only through Zoom, I would assume.
Yes, actually, about 10 years ago, I was in Toastmasters for just a few months when it was live, but that was a very long time ago.
Oh, welcome back. We're happy to have you today. What club are you representing this morning?
I am in the Torrey Pines.
Do we have any representatives from Torrey Pines here this morning? All right, let's give a big shout out to Torrey Pines. Woohoo! On your profile, Jenny, this morning, it says that you're a self-employed photographer and videographer. What's your favorite thing to capture?
I love capturing smiling, happy people, finding joy in their life for families, couples, and weddings and events.
Well, I have a very important question to ask you. How long did it take to get that? How many tries really does it take to get a picture that awesome?
Depends how good of a jumper they are. Normally I give them 3 takes.
Okay, great. I hear that you're raising 2 fabulous future Toastmasters. What are some things that Genevieve and Ariel want for Christmas this year?
Genevieve wants a unicorn robot. So I'm inspired by Jennifer's unicorn. And Ariel, she doesn't really have any wants. Probably will get a light up rattle, maybe so she can jam along to our family music time. Some karaoke maybe.
Very nice. And I also heard that you are a fabulous dancer. Can you show us one of your most favorite dance moves?
Ooh, let's see. It's hard to show without the footwork. Maybe, let's see, we got to get some groove in, moving, and
All right.
silence, movement in our head. Got to do some aerobics, maybe some up and down.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jenny. It's been a pleasure getting to know you this morning. And
Thank
congratulations
you.
on your speech. While we wait for the rest of our judges to get back in the room, are there any announcements from our officials in the room? We have Joyce Persicelli, who is our Club Growth Director. We have CJ Frey, and we have Jonathan Dean. Any announcements you'd like to make to the group?
Just want to say good morning to everybody and thank you for coming to another online contest. Please be sure to always check our district website, d5tm.org. There's actually another contest for Eastern Division areas this PM if you're not busy this PM. And again, I wish you a great holiday season, and any other announcements I'll pass to CJ.
Thank you, Jonathan. Again, I'm going to parrot that happy holidays to everybody for whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you have a fantastic time with friends and family. Please stay safe. The next big event we have coming up is at the end of January. I know that's a long ways off, but it's TLI. It's our winter TLI. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We are still putting up the schedule and who will be our speakers, what sessions we will have. But please, like Jonathan mentioned, check the calendar and it's going to be there. Also, club officer training. The next round, the dates aren't up yet, but the next club officer training will be in January. I hope to have that up by the beginning of the week so you can see what dates are there. So if you are a club officer, you can attend and help your club be successful. Speaking of successful clubs, I'm going to pass this off to our Club Growth Director, Joyce Persicelli.
Right. Good morning, everyone. I just want to remind everyone that now is a great time for clubs to do Moments of Truth to see where they are in their club, what their strengths are, and if they have any challenges. And start thinking about how are you going to improve the challenges that you have. Make sure that this is going to help you plan your next open house or special event. We have Talk Up Toastmaster that starts in February. So please take a moment, do Moments of Truth, and this will make your club to continue to be a quality club. So that's all for me, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. A special thanks to our Club Growth Director, our Program Quality Director, and our District Director for your announcements this morning. We still have a few more minutes left, so let's get to know some of our audience members. What would some of our audience members like for the holidays this year? Anyone would like to volunteer? Jennifer.
I'd like to hug my kids and nephews.
Aw. Where are your kids and nephews right now?
My oldest daughter is in Burlingame, outside of San Francisco. My youngest is in North Hollywood. My nephew is in Corona. I have a niece also in Arizona. For Thanksgiving, we met in the Temecula Winchester parking lot, and we had a social distance meeting, and we were being just hilariously stupid in the parking lot. And what was so awesome, there was another family on the other end of the parking lot doing the same thing. It was so much fun. The only thing is, I couldn't hug them, but it sure did warm my heart just to be in their presence.
Oh, that's wonderful. It looks like our Chief Judge is back. Are we ready to move on to the next contest, Madam Chief Judge?
We are. Let the contest begin. All have been briefed.
Thank you very much. We will now start the Area 24 International Speech Contest. The Chief Judge has informed me that the contestants, judges, timers, and ballot counters have all been briefed prior to the beginning of this contest. I would like to remind all audience members to please turn off your video now and make sure that you are muted. Let the contest begin. International speech contestants, please indicate that you are present when I call your name. Chris Nielsen.
Present.
Catherine Mahoney.
Present. Christmas present, I should say.
Thank you. Oh, very nice. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Chris. The speaking order for the Area 24 International Speech Contest was determined yesterday as part of the contestant briefing. Contestant number 1 will be Chris Nielsen. Contestant number 2 will be Catherine Mahoney. There will be 1 minute of silence before the first contestant and between each contestant. Timer, when I advise you to do so, please signal me with the green screen when 1 minute is up. After all contestants have spoken, the judges will be given all the time they need to complete their ballots. Timer, will you please time 1 minute of silence now?
Acknowledged.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Contestant number 1, please acknowledge you are unmuted by saying Madam Toastmaster.
Madam Toastmaster.
Chris Nielsen, be golden. Be golden, Chris Nielsen.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't know anyone there. You're going. And I knew when my dad said that, I was going. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever felt so alone, even when surrounded by people? If you have, I know how it feels. Once upon a time, there was a boy of 10 named Chris, and he was forced to march to Siberia to live in a gulag next to a frozen lake. I might be exaggerating just a little bit. That boy of 10 was me, yes. And at the time, I lived in Grand Forks, North Dakota, next to a park close to my school with crackling kid energy in my yard every night. Tag, you're it! And across town lived my grandparents. And when you opened the door to their house, it was warm inside. And not just because the thermostat was turned up. It was warm because of their eyes that were filled with love and acceptance. And my grandfather would often pour me a Coca-Cola over ice, and I'd put it to my lips quickly and drink it in, and it would bubble up my nose. And that feeling still feels like love to me to this day. Grandpa, I don't want to go to Siberia. Of course, it's northern Minnesota, and it's not that bad. But I don't have any friends there. I don't know anyone. We're 13 miles out of town, and there's no kids my age. Remember when we talked about making friends, the golden rule? Do unto others as you've had them do unto you. Well, my parents forced us to march to Siberia in the VW lime green bus. And we arrived actually in northern Minnesota next to a frozen lake half the year. And my brother was there. We were very close in age, but we weren't close emotionally. We were constantly in conflict, and we were always competitive. My mom's normal, loving sunshine eyes was now shining at her new job as a high school counselor. And by the time she got home, they had dimmed and set. My dad was building the gulag around us. I mean, the house, the log house. And when I'd hammer with him, I didn't hammer quite right. When I measured, I didn't measure right. I didn't say measure right. I didn't measure up. He was constantly critical. And I didn't realize at the time, but I'd taken on his eyes. I'd been infected with those eyes, being critical. When I went to school, it was an hour bus ride to get there. And I was alone like a boy eating lunch by himself because I was that boy eating lunch by himself. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the 23rd day in a row. My mom's not even a choosy mother anymore. She didn't choose Jif. At recess, which used to be my favorite time where I'd play with all kinds of kids, I didn't play with anyone. I wanted to say, hey, look at me, look at me. But I didn't. A part of me also didn't want to be seen. And I realized the eyes that I saw with were those critical, judgmental eyes. So I was all by myself. But one day, it would change. My mom and dad went on a mysterious mission. And when they came down our S driveway through the pine trees and through the hardwoods to the opening, my mom got out with a golden ball in her hands and she put it on the ground and it started to wobble towards me. And then his tail wagged and then he licked me. His name was Jasper. He was a golden retriever. And when my hand sunk into his fur, I felt relaxed for the first time in a long time. And when his eyes met mine, I felt accepted and loved. Tag, you're it, Jasper. And he would waddle after me. And soon he got faster and faster. And we did everything together. We ran together. We dove off the dock together. We swam out to the raft together. I pulled him up and he shook in water, went everywhere. When he was around, I never felt alone again. His eyes were so accepting and loving and energetic and excited to see me. In the winter, I'd dive on a sled and he'd chase after me. Chris, I'm gonna get you. And he would get me. He'd grab me by the hand and pull me into the snowbank. Poof! And that was our game. And Jasper wants me to tell you, Joe, I just want to tell you, I grabbed his hand gently, not enough to bite through the skin. Because of that, I was probably more generous, open, and loving at school, and I started to make friends. Now, I went through a lot of difficult times, and so did our family, but Jasper was there for everyone. When I went off to college, my junior year was probably the most scary, lonely year, actually, since that first year moving to Grand Rapids. My best friend had dropped out, and I felt alone in a city of over 1 million people. But I was so excited to get home for Christmas. And when I got home for Christmas break, there was Jasper waddling towards me. Hey, buddy, how you doing? He didn't look as good, but he had those same wonderful eyes that he looked me at. Hey, then we were going cross country skiing. My dad said, time up, Chris, time up. You can't go. He's not feeling good. And so I grabbed him by the collar and hooked him in. Oh, sorry, buddy. I'll be home soon. You stay good. I'll be back. Love ya. And we went skiing deep into the woods. And then I heard my mom behind me. Oh no. And I heard her start to cry, and I looked back, and there was Jasper coming up the trail, struggling to come up the trail. And I skied back to him as quick as I could, and he just collapsed in the trail. And I put my hand into his fur, and he just relaxed. Jasper changed my life. He made me feel wonderful and accepted inside. I'm sure you have that playful pup in your life, or that curious cat, or especially friendly goldfish that likes to kiss the glass. My challenge to you is to be more like them. You know, in these challenging times when there's red states and blue states and red and blue and all this divisiveness, maybe we can choose to be golden instead. And I would like to say there was a happily ever after, but I have to say this, I'm still a work in progress. So much work in progress. And if you see me being judgmental and critical, which I am occasionally, say, hey, Chris, be golden. Because you know what it'll do? It'll bring Jasper alive inside me again. It'll remind me to be golden. And my challenge for you is to be golden too. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Chris. May we have one moment of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Thank you, Mr. Timer. Contestant number 2, please acknowledge you are unmuted by saying Madam Toastmaster.
Madam Toastmaster.
Catherine Mahoney, labeled. Labeled Catherine Mahoney.
Forgive me, I cannot see the timer. I may start now. I'm curious. Am I the only one being followed around by a 7-year-old? Let me show you what my 7-year-old looks like. Hi. Do you like my dress? I love this dress. I had to have this dress with these flower earrings, but I didn't want to be too matchy-matchy. So my bracelet only matches my shoes. Do you like me? I could really use a friend. If you want to be my friend, I'll be your friend. And I promise that I will always be nice to you, that I will never, ever call you names, and I will always, always root for you. Friends? Okay, good. My 7-year-old self, Kathy, hangs out right here all day long. And precocious as she was, she decided that she was retarded. I decided. I looked down at my poor, shriveled little leg that couldn't, for any amount of prayer, hope, or surgery, grow a femur. And I decided that this physical manifestation of a birth defect was mental too. The doctors didn't tell me that. No one told me that. But the bullies, they reinforced it. They found new, creative, and ingenious ways to harass and humiliate me. I think the one that stands out the most is when Omar wanted to find out if it made a sound. And so he hit me with a 2x4. Pop! And it reverberates through my body to this day. Somehow I made it to the 7th grade and I received a new label, one that I hadn't created for myself. The school said I was gifted. Yes, gifted. I had ironically mislabeled myself. Kathy didn't believe it. And again, no one told the bullies. I was the one foisted upon the unfortunate team to have last dibs. And I was invariably the reason that we lost, even before we played the game. How about you, friends? Somehow I made it through high school, and the bullies did not follow me to college. Yippee. But every once in a while, I would run into some do-gooder in the parking lot, yelling, "You can't park here! You don't look disabled!" And Kathy would get upset and go, "But wait, it's fake." And then I would remember, oh, that's right. Fake it till you make it. I made it. It was when I was 22 that I met my best friend, Liza Lou. And we've been tried and true for the last 22. On a particularly hot February afternoon, as we are accustomed in San Diego, we were sunbathing in the backyard like roommates do. And she said, "Why don't we go to the store, get some beer and some barbecue, have a party tonight?" Psh, I'm down with that. Let me go put some jeans on. We'll be out of here. Jeans. Don't you know it's 120 degrees outside? Why don't you put on a pair of shorts? I gestured wordlessly at her. Have we just met? This does not wear shorts. And she looked at me. She had this glint in her eye, and it was as if she was taking her heart and literally offering it to me. And she said, "Girlfriend, you're probably never gonna see these people again. Be yourself." This was not a label that I was used to. I turned around, hopped back into my room, and I wished for the first time that I owned a pair of shorts. But I didn't. But I started to get curious. I wondered, if I had a pair of shorts, would I actually wear them? And what would the people in the parking lot say? Better still, what would I do in the store? Would I shrink and shrivel, diminishing down the aisles, hoping and praying that maybe, just maybe, when I got to the end of the aisle, Liza could help me reach the beer? Or would I unfurl and blossom and burst through the store singing, hey, posse party tonight? I could decide. I could decide if I was going to be withered in the corner or if I was going to be curious. I decided to be curious. What else could I wear? Where else could I go? A mini skirt? Maybe leggings? Oh. I didn't go from bell bottoms to belly dancing overnight, but I did. And guess what? Kathy loved it. And she is begging me. She's asking, she's jumping up and down, and she's saying, please ask them. Are you curious about your labels? Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Catherine. Everyone will remain on mute while the judges have all the time they need to complete their ballots, and the ballots have been received by the Chief Judge.
The ballots have been collected. Please put us in our breakout room. Thank you. The ballot counters and the Chief Judge.
Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. Everyone can now turn their video back on. Let's give a nice silent applause for both of our contestants in the International Speech Contest. Thank you. Now let's start to get to know our contestants. Contestants, I will interview you each in the order in which you spoke. Chris Nielsen,
Yes, Carrie Foster.
how long have you been in Toastmasters, Chris?
I'm not sure. I was a long time ago. I joined with those very critical eyes I had and dropped out because you had terrible topics or terrifying topics, something like that. And then I think I joined again about 10 years ago.
All right, well, welcome back. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
What club are you representing today?
Torrey Pines Toastmasters.
Any other representatives from Torrey Pines here today? Let's give a little shout out to Torrey Pines Toastmasters. Woo. I hear that you work as a consultant for organizations. Can you tell us about a memorable experience that you've had doing that type of work?
One of the memorable sometimes are the tough ones. I was in Toronto, actually north of Toronto, a few hours doing a training for a company called Canadian Goose, a big maker of winter clothing and things like that, very fancy stuff. And I had designed an experiential training for them, and a part of it was a canoe race. And I thought I had been talking to the main person, but these people were wild, young salespeople, and they went on this canoe race and they didn't listen to the instructions, and they didn't listen to wearing life vests, and they had their cell phones in their pockets. And I have to say, stuff happened. And I thought, though, from a facilitator point of view, this is going to be a great experience. But the main person was not happy with me.
So I assume that there were some boats that may have capsized during this canoe race.
Out of the 5 canoes, 4 tipped over. And normally, you know, if I would have set the context right, there's so much learning experience from doing things wrong or whatever, bad or failing, is that I learned so much from that event to be a better facilitator, to find out who is really in charge and what their expectations are, and to set a better context. So it was a phenomenal experience for me in the long run. In that particular moment was a little difficult.
Well, that's the great thing about having a difficult experience is A, you get to learn something, and B, it makes for great storytelling later on.
Yes, there's much more to that as well.
What would you like for Christmas this year, Chris?
You know, that's an interesting question. To have all my loved ones be happy and healthy, and for us as a nation to get through this difficult time as well as we can. And actually, kind of like my speech, so we come together and not look at our differences and see how we are so connected.
So who is your new Jasper nowadays?
My mom and dad have a dog, Sophie, and she's amazing. And now I'm actually taking her out on the bicycle with holding the leash in one hand, and we're going. And she is an amazing pup that looks at me with love and if I'm not taking her out, she's like looking at me. Is it time? Is it time?
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Chris, and to Sophie and your family. And thank you for being here today.
Merry
Give us a round of
Christmas,
applause
Carrie.
to Chris. Catherine, welcome.
Good morning.
How long have you been with Toastmasters, Catherine?
8 years.
That's a really long time. What club are you representing today?
I'm here with Hi-Fi Speakers.
Any other representatives from Hi-Fi today? All right, let's give a big round of applause for Hi-Fi Speakers. Woo woo! I hear from all of your fans, Catherine, that you're a famous karaoke singer. What is your favorite song to sing in karaoke?
I change it all the time. Right now, I'm really into Billie Eilish. So it depends on my mood, and she's really difficult. So I have to choose the right song because they're not all easy, and none of them are easy. But yeah, so I really like Billie Eilish, and I really like Lady Gaga. So either one.
I almost thought you were going to say Billy Idol for a minute, but could you give us a couple lines from Billie Eilish? Maybe give us just a little hint.
Sure. If I knew it all then, would I do it again? Would I do it again?
Woohoo!
they said would go straight to my head. What would they say instead?
All right. Well, next time you go out karaoke, when things start opening up, you better put me on the invite list for sure.
Definitely.
I also hear that you love to make cards. What kind of cards do you like to make?
I like to make wedding invitations. I've made probably 10 sets, and I love to send just greeting cards, or right now during this unprecedented time, I like to send cards just to say, hey, I love you, I'm thinking about you. Sometimes I'll just flood cards to someone and just send them like one a day for a month. So it's really a pleasure to create, and it's a pleasure to share because there's only so much I can store here.
I think it's very special to get cards nowadays. It's something that you don't get very often. And so I think that's very special that you take the time to send out cards to your loved ones. What is it that you want for Christmas, Catherine?
I have a son who will be 18 in 6 months and 15 days. And I want him to have the best Christmas. So whatever he wants, and I also have a 15-year-old son. So it's really whatever they want to do. I'm very flexible. So you want to get a big tree, you want to go to your room, I'm not going anywhere. So I just want happiness for my kids and happiness for me. If they're happy, I'm happy.
That's wonderful. And our final question today, how many pairs of shorts do you own now?
I bought like 3 pair just this summer. So I'm going to say 10, and then I've got some skirts and 15 pairs of leggings now. And I wear them all the time.
All right. Well, congratulations. And thank you for being our contestant today. A big round of applause for Catherine, everyone.
Thank you.
I see that our chief judge has returned.
Yes, and the votes have been tallied.
Thank you very much, Madam Chief Judge. Thank you for allowing me to be your Toastmaster this morning for our wonderful speech contest. I'll now turn the meeting over to our Area 24 Director, Ms. Jennifer Barber Frazier.
Woo! Thank you, everyone. A contest cannot be held without the hard work of many individuals. I'd like to thank the following people for their undying support. Leticia Chiba, who couldn't be with us this morning, but I thank her for handing off the baton. Our Chief Judge, Melissa Spiegler, for your mentorship and guidance. Our fabulous Toastmaster and mentor, Carrie Foster. Thank you, Carrie. To all of our contestants, our ballot counters, judges, timers, our fabulous Zoom host, and everyone who assisted in making this contest a success. Thank you. It's time to announce the results of our Area 24 Humorous Speech Contest. May I have a drum roll, please? Our Area 24 Speech Contest humorous winner is Jenny Edwards. Thank you so much, Jenny. We appreciate you representing Area 24. We wish you all the best, and we'll be cheering you on every step of the way. Woohoo! And if we'll please stand by for the announcement of our international contest winner. Melissa, will you please do the honor of announcing our international speech contest winner?
All right, I will do the announcement of that. So our second place winner for the International Speech Contest for Area 24 is Catherine Mahoney. And our first place winner for our international speech contest is Chris Nielsen.
Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to both our participants and our winners. Again, as you move forward to represent not only Area 24, but District 5, we wish you all the best, and we'll be supporting you every step of the way. This concludes Area 24's Humorous and International Speech Contest. Thank you so much for your time. We wish you a safe and healthy holiday season. Please feel free to hang out as long as you like to socialize. Thank you again. This contest is adjourned.